What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thank you, as always, for joining. Ashli Babbitt. I haven't talked much about Ashli Babbitt, and this interaction on Twitter got me passionate about the topic here. This is from Taylor Hanson. Taylor Hanson is a journalist who I believe was right there, actually. Taylor Hanson stated, new. Ashli Babbitt punched Zachary Allen in an effort to stop him from breaching the window. This was right after the cops decided to evacuate. She was trying to stop the attack on the windows and was visibly frustrated with police inaction. Watch. I'm not going to show the video. I don't know what YouTube does with that. Notice in this frame, I'll show some pictures. Hopefully that's okay. Notice in this frame, by frame video, it shows her grabbing Allen's backpack and punching him in the face, knocking his glasses down. This was 7 seconds before she was shot and killed by Michael Bird. I can't believe I've never seen this before. I've watched the video. I don't know if I watched the videos definitely 7 seconds before she was tragically shot. I've seen it. I didn't see this before. It's clear as day in the video. And she gives him a left. So this guy that is named Zachary Allen looks like he has some type of weapon and breaks the window of where they're at to break through to go further into the Capitol building, which obviously would not be good. And it looks like, I don't know why, that's how he describes the video. And the video shows her grabbing his backpack or his back to stop him. And then it also shows her, he turns and looks at her and she just gives him a left, just like that granny from the elevator video yesterday. A nice, solid, semi-hook left to his face, knocking out his glasses. I don't know why she did it. He's saying she did it to stop him. It could have been. Here's the freeze frame. I don't want to show the video, so you can see it clearly. She's shorter. He looks at her, and she just binks him right in the mouth, right in the face. Taylor Hanson continues. Ashli Babbitt has been slandered as a violent terrorist. They're basically trying to slander anyone who even voted for Trump as a domestic terrorist, basically. But Ashli Babbitt has been slandered as a violent terrorist from mainstream media and our government for over a year. As a first-hand witness, this couldn't be further from the truth. Ashli was actively trying to de-escalate the situation, was never violent, and didn't break a single thing. Important. You can't just shoot, this is his opinion, Taylor's opinion, you can't just shoot an unarmed woman, 14-year Air Force vet, who was 100% peaceful, and label her as a terrorist. Let's make sure PolitiFact sees this. What poor excuses will they drum up this time? For more info on this story, there's an Epoch Times, or Epoch, I forget how you pronounce it, article. It's odd. I've seen this trait over the last couple of days. Videos on YouTube getting 0 to 1 views. When you know that this thread's gone viral, it's obviously been watched or at least started more than that. So Taylor talks about it, says Twitter has activated regime change damage control by just putting 1 view. I don't know if they're limiting the views or just lying about the views or if it's an error. I can't confirm they're lying about it, but it's all happening on videos that don't go along with the politics of Twitter. He says there's no stopping the truth. After a year of fighting for transparency, I want transparency, that's for sure. Surrounding Ashli, not just Ashli, all of this. This is a great weight lifted off my shoulders, but we're only getting started. Justice is inevitable. This is Taylor's opinion. Imagine writing off a first-hand witness of the Babbitt shooting because the truth is too inconvenient for your narrative. I know more than anyone regarding the shooting and what took place in that hall. Anyone who disagrees with the evidence by now is willfully ignorant. I don't fully agree with Taylor there. I don't have any reason to say he's lying. I just don't have enough proof from the video to agree, but it looks like it's something important. So I said, I still don't think she should have been there. None of them should have been there. When I say been there, not at the Trump speech, not peacefully outside the Capitol. When you started breaching the Capitol, that was a problem. That wasn't, I know the Capitol's usually open for the public and tours. Obviously, that wasn't a tour. There wasn't like a scheduled tour that was happening there. That was a riot. I still don't think she should have been there. None of them should have been there. And I'm not against them, so I'll get there. But this is important information. That was my first thought. Got a very respectful reply by Catherine here. And Catherine said, I used to say the same thing. Then it hit me that more of us should have been there. The rest of us sat home knowing our country was being taken. Sure, maybe they stood no chance of making the difference they wanted to make, but at least they did something. I I talk about Twitter a lot or whatever, but that was what a great comment. I I will be honest. Talking about politics with non-leftists is so much more enjoyable. I don't want to be in the echo chamber, but non-leftists can disagree on nuance and have respectful response. That is a respectful response, and we have that on this channel all the time in the comments every day. A respectful response to mine. It makes you think. It made me passionate. This response made me I'm gonna read it one more time. I just love how well it was. This is respectfully laid out. I said, I don't think she should have been there. None of them should have been there. She said, I used to say the same thing. Then it hit me that more of us should have been there. The rest of us sat home knowing our country was being taken. Sure, maybe they stood no chance of making the difference they wanted to make, but at least they did something. So this is how I'm going to end. I said, true. I agree with you. In general, I don't know everybody there, but in general, they showed courage, and I support the sentiments that brought them there. Their hearts were in the right place. And when I say there, I don't mean in the Capitol. That was the mistake. And some people didn't know because they came in after the more, there was some violent push to get in. They came in after that and didn't know what really had led up to it. So there's a lot of nuance here. But in general, their hearts, I think, were in the right place as true patriots, seeing what's happening to our country, being gaslit every day. This is after COVID lockdowns, choosing winners and losers, small businesses being closed. A lot of the people in J6, there are articles that were written about this, where some of them were people who were in debt, who had lost their small business. So I'm not condoning what they did, but I think their hearts were in the right place largely. But we have to learn from this. That's not full stop, period, end of the story. We have to analyze the risk versus reward payoff to any situation, any action. And this is where it comes to sometimes we have respectful disagreement on this channel about this compliance and non-compliance. I'm all for non-compliance if I do a risk versus reward analysis and it makes sense. If that risk versus reward doesn't make sense, I'm out. Every day with life, every moment you're doing a risk versus reward. I'm sick. Am I going to go to work and get people sick, or am I going to call off? Okay, I'm going to call off because I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be productive, and I don't want to get other people sick. I did a risk versus reward even talking about this topic on YouTube. They could easily just say, it's a topic we don't want to talk about. Boom, you're gone, done. So I'm doing a risk reward right now of even uploading this to YouTube. Life is risk versus reward. They did not do that analysis productively. And in my opinion, that got them set up to take the fall, and they took the okie doke because they didn't do a proper risk versus reward analysis. And sometimes emotions get the best of you, but that's what happened. I could do a risk versus reward analysis on the march in DC. If I didn't, if I wasn't so far away, didn't have two kids, wife, I would have been there. That was a peaceful protest set up in a way, promoted in a way where I say there's some risk to be out there, but I would have been there. But I wouldn't have been on the Capitol. I talked about Proud Boys out in Portland. I believe it was August 22nd. I remember it just because I did the video. August 22nd in the streets fighting with paintballs, fighting Antifa. I did a video. I said, boys, I'm not proud. I'm not against the Proud Boys. I'm just saying the risk versus reward analysis of having literal paintball fights with Antifa in the streets is stupid. I'm out. I'm not going to be a part of that. The Ashli Babbitt situation reminds me in some ways of the George Floyd situation. I'm not blaming them for their deaths. And I'm not even blaming the cops for their death either. There's a lot of gray area with both of these. But what I will say is George Floyd using the counterfeit money, taking drugs, he was high out of his mind based on the toxicology report. Ashli Babbitt, being a 14-year veteran, she made a bad risk versus reward decision. That doesn't mean, I still say she was a patriot in her actions and her service. Her death was tragic, just like George Floyd's death was tragic. But we've got to learn from these things. It wasn't smart. Dave Smith, in a recent video, I listened to almost every one of Comic Dave Smith's uploads. He was talking about Alex Jones and how ironic it was that Alex Jones was out there in J6. Alex Jones built his whole career basically on telling people don't fall for the okie doke. This person's probably a Fed. Don't do this because they're setting you up to take a fall. And what did he do? He was out there. Now, I saw him on video. I know he was telling people to stop, don't go in. But he shouldn't even have been there. He shouldn't even have been in that position where he was at, having to tell people to come on back. What are y'all doing? Don't fall for this. He was out there, and I don't think he led people to the fall, but he was out there while people were falling, and it was ironic. So that's all I wanted to say. Tragic death, important new information video that just came out that might change your view on her. I don't know. But anything we do, let's analyze it. Let me know what you think. Take care.